welcome. Roveel, we've been in the Sage channel for about 11 years. I'm an accountant, it's my background, previous finance director, CFO for a number of different businesses across kind of medical devices, medical technology, software business, manufacturing environment, wholesale distribution. So kind of broad range of different things. And all of those businesses struggle with reporting generally, and they spend their time exporting information out of the finance system, so be that Sage 50, Sage 200 or another, dropping it into Excel and analyzing it there. So about 11, 12 years ago, got thinking, look, there's an opportunity here to automate that extraction of that information, and really give the benefits to small, medium-sized companies that large corporates have in terms of a BI product that sits over the top. Cue Roveel. So Roveel, we provide that powerful drill down reporting. So being able not just to see kind of high level pretty graphs and stuff, but actually be able to drill in and understand the information that sits beneath the numbers to really understand kind of what's going on under the bonnet. So let me so the plan for today is to run through a brief deck. I've got the live demo that we'll run through, and we'll go through from there. So in terms of what is Roveel, and what does it do, it's about providing an easy, quick way to get access to that information within the business, to share that information across the whole of that company. So being able to segment roles and being able to give the right information to the right people so they can do their job better, make better business decisions. So from a partner's perspective, it's a very easy setup. It takes less than 10 minutes to get set up. There's a widget that connects to the SQL database, synchronizes all that data. Typically, the customer's up and running within about an hour, depending on obviously the size of their data. So there's no kind of heavy onboarding. That's why we offer a 14-day free trial. It's quick and easy. It then automatically does a daily synchronization. So it will run through every evening as standard. We have a premium service where we can offer more frequent updates if required, and we've got a few that need that. Depends on the business. So easy setup, quick, instant results, and that's what's working in the market in terms of understanding, getting immediate results. We do live demos with customers. They'll get into their data, and as soon as they see their data, it's far more meaningful than the standard demo data. So crucially, it's not Power BI. So it's our own creation. It doesn't use Power BI under the hood, so there's no third-party installation or licenses to deal with. There are no hidden costs. That's a question we get asked quite a lot. It's our own proprietary, so it's that one-time install, and then off we go. We handle the support. So we've got ticket, telephone, live chat available, and we handle that all ourselves. So in terms of the benefit for Sage 200 and what Roveel is actually doing, so it's extracting that information straight out of Sage 200. It's often the reports that are inside Sage. I haven't got one to hand. Are normally fairly restrictive. You know, they've been built in the report designer. They're lacking in appearance, and you can't necessarily run them and lead through the report. So what Roveel enables you to do is you've got a question, you're a salesperson, you're out on the road, you've got a question about some information, you want to know some how a customer's performing, which products they've bought. You can go in Sage, you'd run that report in Sage and you'd get the answer. In Roveel, you can You can go in, click a few buttons, grab that information, and then you lead on to a further conversation. And you want to then know, but what did this customer buy? What did this region do? What did this salesperson do? What about that product? What about this product? Where was it a year ago? It stops you having to keep going back and running reports that you'd have to in Sage 200. And the appearance-wise, as you'll see, and you can see on the screen there, is far improved. So there's no need to write reports in the Sage Report Designer. There's no technical knowledge required. It's plug and play, get the access within the hour. Crucially, no more reporting out into Excel. You can report, you can export the information from Roveel into Excel if you need to, but you know, you're not constructing your whole reporting suite from Excel from the Sage 200 database. It's quick drill down reporting, and crucially, the goal for us is to allow businesses to make those decisions quicker, giving the right information to the right people at the right time. In terms of sectors, we are truly sector agnostic. If I look across all of our whole customer base, across the whole business, we are working with companies in lots of different sectors, from care home providers, manufacturing, wholesale distribution, retail, construction, you know, the whole lot. I always say products work brilliantly, but equally we've got some really strong service-based businesses that are using it. Given that Sage 200, we're seeing more obviously on with products and lots of SKUs. That's great because you can then start to look at margins and looking at individual margin by product, looking at margin by customers, looking at those outliers on margin, that sort of stuff. But equally on the service side of things, there's obviously other areas like KPIs and that kind of thing that might be more important. So we are truly sector agnostic on there. You'll have seen at the start, we run with the slogan, any report you want. We've got a team here, we're based in Norwich. We've got a team here who will build custom reports for you and for your customers. So we've got a fully bespoke reporting service. So essentially, we will be introduced to the customer. The customer will be on the trial. We'll have a conversation. Once they're a subscribed customer, we'll then run through their requirements and understand what information they need. Ultimately, they're sitting on a huge amount of data, and if our standard base pack of reports doesn't quite cut it, and they want some more information, we can then go and build those, and we charge a consultancy rate based upon that. And build that out. That is then theirs to keep. There's no ongoing support attached to that. There is a support fee, but it's not attached to that bespoke work. They pay one support fee to cover the whole of their subscription. And around that, it is you know, it's an affordable monthly subscription. I'll come on to pricing in a moment. In terms of the custom work, we tend to issue fixed price quotations. So we will agree the fee upfront in advance before we do the work. There's no nasty surprises at the end. We can do it on a day rate. So, you know, if somebody needs to buy 5 days worth of development work, fantastic, great, we can do that. But generally, we work on a fixed price because generally it's a couple of reports, 2 or 3 that people may need. So it's cloud-based, which I hadn't probably made clear at the start. So it's about we install the widget, and then you can access Roveel from your desktop, from tablet, mobile, wherever you are. So you can lock down access to different individuals, so they can see different parts of the business. So if you've got the credit control team, you just want access to the credit control reports, they can just see those. So it's all cloud-based. I mean, you know, 10 years ago that was innovative. We're now, you know, cloud is fairly well adopted, but it's an important point. Hosted on EU servers, so we were not affected this week with the AWS issue. So what I want to do is come on to some examples, and I'll talk through some examples of some of the reports that we can get, and I will drop into a demo in a short while. I won't run through everything because there's so much there, which is obviously what I want to demonstrate to you. But we've got areas around cash flow, for example. So looking at historic cash flow, we are not a cash flow forecasting tool. We can do work around looking at sort of short-term cash flow requirements in terms of mapping out your receipt of debtors and your payment of creditors based on the information that's in there. We're not a cash flow reporting forecasting tool, but we can do we do the historic forecasting, so actually it can impact and give you the information you need to do those forecasts. We can set up things around financial covenants. So with banking covenants, we can take those covenants and do those. We can import budgets directly into Roveel. We prefer that they're inside Sage because it's easier to manage and saves us having to import them in, but equally we can import them in directly. So we've got full budget reporting, actual budget variance reporting inside Roveel. Analyzing profitability, I've talked a little bit about that, but real granularity of that profitability. So not just your gross profit over time. Yes, we do that, but actually looking at gross profit by individual product category. So any particular range, and drilling down into profitability by product, and actually looking at profitability by customer as well. So really being able to look and give the business owner the information they need to be able to tweak and change and ultimately increase profitability. Tracking KPIs, we have a trick essentially, which is we can work with the customers to get those KPIs into Sage, setting some nominals outside the normal chart of account range, or using the reporting nominals. Actually grab those and put them onto a report inside Roveel. So for example, a project we've done recently around a care home provider, the number of the occupancy rate, so the number of people in each individual care home is really important at any point in time. So they will journal that in and out at the end of each month, and we can do that. We also do weekly reporting as well for some, and we can obviously with the periods inside 200, the 4-5 week type approach, we can cope with and report on that absolutely fine. So I've talked about getting the right information to the right people to do their jobs, and another big area is around controlling supplier spend and being able to understand where you're spending that money. So that might not be necessarily per supplier, that might be across a range. So it might be, I don't know, packaging costs, for example. You might want to look at all of your suppliers that you're supplying into that area of the business, and understand, and then obviously you can then be informed on your spend with those suppliers, or the customer can be informed on the spend with those suppliers. They then go off and then have those negotiations. We've got something called a supplier, it's a PDF essentially, a supplier performance report, and that then is a PDF output that you can share with the supplier. They can share with the supplier to help with those contract negotiations. Similarly, on the customer side, there's a PDF again to help drive sales. So and I'll come on to some of those tools in a moment. So Roveel, we've deliberately priced it as kind of easy setup, so no setup fee, straight in, easy to connect to, getting results quickly. So typically we'll say within the hour, and then sort of fairly light touch in terms of onboarding. So and I'll cover some of the onboarding side of things as we go through. But it's designed to be that bespoke, affordable reporting tool. We've got various integrations. I'll come on to some of those in a moment. We've also got the ability to pick up data from other SQL servers. So I've listed those on the slide there. We've just been announced, hopefully some of you will have seen, we've just been announced as the official reporting partner for Gloucester Rugby Club. So they are a Premiership rugby, a rugby team, and we are, they use Sage 200, so both for their trading entity and their charitable foundation. So we've been working with them for the last few months. Essentially where they've got to is the ability to drill into individual fixture. So, for example, I was there on Friday. They played Bristol Bears. They'd be able to see the Bristol Bears on a Friday night income right down to profit level. So they're going to have KPIs coming in, spend per head, food, drink per attendee, and then they can compare that against the same fixture last season. And they can compare it against other fixtures obviously during the season, so they could compare all the Friday evening fixtures and see how they're doing and compare. So we're giving them the information they need to really sort of drive it forward. So in terms of how we work with partners, you know, we want to work with people who have that kind of shared value, shared audience. We offer a great product to your customers. There's the high earnings potential, and I'll come on to that later. It drives business growth for your customers. So it's important to you know, to be seen to be helping your customers and drive them forward, and obviously there's a good PR and storytelling opportunity for your customers as well. So we're always looking for more case studies and shared stories that we can tell with our partners. And what we're looking as an output of today is really that long-term partnership potential. And I know we work with a few of you already on the call. We launched our Sage 200 integration in March this year. The growth has been phenomenal. The take up and the feedback has been superb. And now we need to, you know, we started with a smaller number of partners, and now we need to broaden that out and have more impact on UK and Irish SMEs. So now I'm going to run into a live demo. Just bear with me while I drag this across. Okay, so hopefully you can all see that. Okay, if I just full screen that. Okay, so I'm logged into Roveel here. You'll see down the left-hand side the menu that's customizable. This is our demo, but this is the standard what everyone would get. That will so you can edit that, and you can lock down and restrict different people's access to different menus on this left-hand side. So I'm logged in here to my demo company. You're immediately presented with the homepage, which gives high-level information around this week's orders, invoices and orders. So all this information is automatically pulled out. There's no importing needed. It looks at, you know, invoices and orders this year versus the previous year, on financial year to date. That high level sales, gross profit, EBITDA. I said we did the high level as well as the detail. Top 10 debtors. Again, you know, from a business owner's perspective, being able to very quickly see who owes money, who's overdue, when they last paid, when the last invoice was raised. This is far quicker than being able to, you know, needing to go to the finance team to ask them to run a report from within Sage. And then top 10 creditors as well. We can bespoke the homepage. We can bespoke any report. We do a fair amount of customization of the homepage to get it generally so that the kind of senior leadership teams can access that information. I'm now going to jump straight into some sales information. So I'm going to my sales overview. Just going to refresh my filters from. So it'll remember my previous session. remember the filters that I had applied on each individual dashboard, so you can pick up where you left off. That's an important point there. So bear in mind, all this information is obviously it's a demo company. Bear in mind, all this information is automatically imported in. So this is what you would see within the hour of literally signing up on the website and getting set up. I should have talked about the setup process. So we've designed our setup process with partners in mind, obviously. So if a customer comes to us directly, they are requested to enter the partner email address in. That then fires off an email to the partner to request them to set up. So we are bringing you into that process as part of our sign up and setup process. We need to be working with you on this and getting you involved. So sales overview, and we've got full guides and things in terms of how that works. So from a pure sales perspective here, you've got your sales over time. You've got a date selector, so you can select any date range you like. I'll keep that sat there as October to July, just for demonstration purposes. We've then got a range of filters, so we pull through all the filters like warehouse, cost center department, all of your customer analysis fields, and product analysis fields as well. So they're all available and come through. Now, crucially, what you're able to do is drill through from clicking on the graph. So if I said I want to look at Hardy's Home Help Builders Limited, left click on that, it will go off and it will filter everything on the screen for that particular customer. So that particular customer is 239% up. We can see the trend of their sales over the period I've got selected. We can see the cost centers, obviously got a blank cost center in there for some reason, and we can see the individual departments as well. Then further breaks that down by product group and product. So actually we can see which products they've been purchasing, which product groups, and automatically pulls out which ones have increased and which ones have decreased over that period of time. So if you start to look and go, right, okay, that particular customer's down on these products, right, let's go and look at that particular product. I know about that one. Let's go and have a look at that one. We can see they're £4,200 down. Let's have a look. Okay, they haven't purchased it. That particular customer must have been a one-off purchase. Now what we'll do is we will just unfilter that customer. Let's look at how that product's performing across the whole of the business. Let's see what that's doing. Okay, that product's 78% up. So it just gives you that information really quickly. And when I said around running a report out of Sage, often the comment is, well, we can answer a question by running a report out of Sage. It takes time, it's very manual, and the finance team need to do it. Actually, the sales teams can go in and use this and see all the information they need. And what we do is we can lock down the reports. Often salespeople are allocated to departments or cost centers, or using the analysis fields. We can lock those down. So I don't know if I've got an example on here. Yeah, so I've got various different salespeople set up here in the customer analysis one field. We would lock down so that Alan could only ever see Alan's customers. So he would just be presented with this screen. He wouldn't be able to access anybody else's. That's something we do as part of our bespoke service there. Okay. I won't go into service sales right at this moment in time. Happy to pick up that with anybody else. When I said we get into the detail, we've just released last month the sales transactions report, which allows you to access all of the information under the hood. So if I was to go into a particular customer, if I go into Happy Retail, hit OK, filter into them, I can see the transactions, see who the usernames were, see obviously what module it's come from in terms of SOP, invoice credit note. You can get access back obviously to the underlying information that's sitting inside Sage. That's a really important addition that we made recently. Jumping into things like invoice profit. I talked about profit in my presentation. We've got the ability here to, again, look at sales and gross profit by individual customer, by product group and by product, over whatever date range. And again, we're pulling in those filters, so you can filter it down by department or by cost center. So you might have different retail stores or different branches under cost center. So I might want to just look at how Manchester's profits reporting. I can click that, hit apply. It'll go off and filter and bring that information through. Monthly product sales. So we've got not just value, we've also got quantity information inside Roveel. So if it's about number of widgets, you can pull that information through. I've picked a good example here where I haven't got any data. Let me just pick a more recent. There we go. So this shows all of the products over that 3-month range. And provides you with the with all the detail behind there. And if there was a particular number you want to drill into and go, well, I don't know what that 12,599 was. Right click on the number, show transactions. It'll bring back the information. And I hope you'll all see that is seriously fast in terms of getting access to that information, rather than running a report as standard. You've then got the ability to filter down here, and obviously you can see what nominal it's going into, and you can export that into Excel as well if you want to. That's common across the majority of the platform in terms of that ability just to right click and drill into information on there. So we also have volume. So we've got a monthly sales quantity product dashboard here, so you can see volume by volume over time. And again, you can filter that down by the analysis field. So if you just want to look at Alan's customers, he wants to see how much volume he's taken of product. You can get that, and it's that quick. I should say this is a live demo, so this isn't scripted in the slightest, as you may be able to tell. So that's on the sales side. Jumping onto suppliers, and I won't go through all of this. I want to jump into some finance stuff, and then we've got something else I want to share with you as well. Some exciting news coming. So in here you've got the individual suppliers, spend by supplier. You've got the nominal code. So it breaks it down by individual nominal codes. So if I said I really want to look into, I think I used carriage as an example earlier. If I really want to look into my carriage distribution costs, I click on that, and then we can see the individual spend by supplier, and then we can see the change in spend by supplier as well in terms of what's increased and decreased over that period. So I'm sure you're getting an idea that it's very quick and easy to use. I talked about supplier reports as well. Let me just oh no, I've messed up my screen there. Talked about customer flash reports, supplier flash reports. So in here we can go into any particular supplier. So if I go into AB Cookers, this will give me a run through. You can pop your company logo on there, customer's logo on there, and then they could see. I've picked one with no activity, but you would see the spend over time and the variance spend. Similarly on the customer flash report as well. So customer flash report is designed to be sent to the customer, so your customers would use it as a sales tool to send to their customers. You can drop the logos in, and then use that as a tool to obviously for them to sell more. That's all. This is all. I should say all of this is included in the standard pack. So this is the out of the box what you get. Nothing additional on there. Now, if I just jump into the financials, so if I go into something like the P&L by period, so obviously pulling in the periods. So we pull through the periods from within 200. We've got you select your period, you select your comparison period, and here, for example, I've got this financial year to period 6. So we've got a monthly P&L going up to period 6 with a total for financial year. This is all mapped through, and I'll show you the chart of account configurator very shortly. But again, the same base applies. You can right click on any of these numbers, show transactions, and get that information. You can expand all of those, export that out into Excel if you want to, and it will bring through the same groupings so that you can collapse down in Excel. So it brings through exactly the same functionality that you can see on screen here into Excel automatically. So that's another big one there. You can then obviously filter that down by department or cost center. So I think I was looking at Manchester earlier. If I just want to get my Manchester P&L, there it is. It's as quick as that. And if I said, actually, do you know what? I need to do Manchester and Birmingham because they're in a group together. There it is. You've got the information very, very quickly there. In the financial section, we've got last 5 financial years P&L. We've got a finance report as well, which is a PDF output. As standard, so a high-level management accounts, board pack. It's more, it's high level sort of management accounts. Again, you can put the logo onto the front, P&L as at a certain period of time. You've then got a monthly P&L, balance sheet, and a statement of reconciliation of funds, cash flow statement as well. There's a dashboard of cash flow statement as well, and there's also a period by period one. So lots to look at. We've got access to this demo or access to a demo on our website as well. So there's an experience Roveel on our website. And that's something that we can send out to you and give you access to. So the last one I'm just going to show you here is the visual budget P&L. Again, this is something that we work with businesses to have it up on stuff up on the TV screen in the office. So it might be that they want to share this so that business can, the rest of the team are empowered and can see see how they're performing. It's a very visual screen that allows you to sort of see quite clearly where you are against budget and against previous year. So there's obviously lots there. We've got credit control. I haven't covered cash. I haven't covered, but there's as you can hopefully see, there's a huge amount of information going into here. In terms of our background, for those that are not aware, we've been in the Sage 50 market for a number of years, built up, learned a lot, and then obviously have now built into the Sage 200 market and working with larger companies. So I'm now going to just run back onto here. So I don't know if there's any questions at this stage. Do we have anything coming up? Happy to answer any questions at this point.
Nothing's popped in yet, Mark.
No.
I've been checking. I do have a couple that basically were pre-recorded, preloaded, didn't we? To get the ball rolling. You've answered quite a lot of them already, but I'll run through them anyway, just as a bit of a summary. What verticals are the best fit for this?
Yeah, so we are sector agnostic, but I think naturally from a Sage 200 perspective, stuff with lots of SKUs, products, so that wholesale distribution, manufacturing businesses are generally what we see, albeit we are seeing service-based businesses coming through as well. So I would say by far and away it's that manufacturing wholesale distribution side, but as I say, we've got transport, logistics, care homes, all sorts.
Brilliant. And actually, one's just popped up in the Q&A there. Does it work with all variants of Sage 200, standard, professional, or is it just professional?
It's just professional. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't get access to the standard database. It would work, but we can't get access to it. So and it is all in terms of all variants of 200 as well. So going back for many years.
Thank you. From an onboarding and training point of view, what's the sort of timescales that you would kind of recommend or could take clients through, partners through?
Yeah, so essentially, I guess there's two routes I think that customers are coming through. Either direct from a partner, so the partners that we're working with will refer straight to us. We'll handle the demo, and we'll do a demo. By far and away, the best demo is with their data. So if it's come from a partner, we'd encourage the partner just to use their partner account and set up a demo, and then arrange that, and then we'll run through with the customer. So we'll handle that, and we can give you a link to kind of book that demo. In terms of the setup wise, literally 10 minutes from the partner's side, providing you've got access to the server and the database, obviously, and you know the database credentials, which I'd hope you would. And then it's a case of add the user who we're going to do the demo to, and then away we go. So we've designed Roveel so that the partner has access to the customer data for the trial. So we've got a role as a partner role. Once they become a paying customer, or they're not a customer and the data's truncated or whatever, that access drops away. So if the partner did want to get it installed, do a demo as part of a meeting and just flash it up on the screen or something, you are able to do that. But I'd advocate any sort of more in-depth demos we would handle and run through. But yeah, we're kind of given that sort of flexibility because every partner works in a different way. So and we're happy to get people's opinions on that. But I think we've covered most bases on that.
Brilliant. Couple of questions actually in now. You showed that it works with Azure SQL. Does it work with Sage Partner Cloud?
Again, I think we can't access the Sage Partner Cloud from. Can we access Sage Partner Cloud? I'm not sure if we can or not. Is that where standard is stored on the Sage Partner Cloud?
We can take that one away.
Yeah, I'll take that one away.
Yeah, we'll take that one away. What kind of cash flow forecasting projections are there in the platform? I know you mentioned before that it's not cash flow forecasting, but is there anything similar alongside?
So we do the historic reporting, so we can bring through the historic cash flow. So in terms of what's moved, and I didn't show it. I've got a monthly cash flow movement, and we have built on a bespoke basis. We can use the data that sits inside Sage 200, and we can map out expected payment dates and expected receipt dates. So we can map those out. What we're not is what I would regard as a true sort of three-way Sage win forecast type forecast, which a longer term forecast. So we can do that short term. We generally work with that on a bespoke basis. So we'll look and understand the specific requirements because they are quite specific in terms of how they want to map stuff out. There's always without getting too in technical and in depth. There's always a lot of questions that we go back. So kind of the one size doesn't fit all on the forecast side, but certainly we can do the short term side of things.
Right. Is the data reported real time? I know you mentioned before again that syncs every night, but that's earlier.
Yeah, so we'll do a data sync overnight as standard, but we can do more frequent. It depends on obviously the size of how many transactions and stuff and bringing that through. So it's not real time. We can have another sort of 3-4 synchronizations a day. So it's kind of near real time. We also have the option for a user to do a manual synchronization. And if it takes particularly 15-20 minutes, half an hour to go through, they can click a button inside Roveel in the platform, and that will then trigger that refresh, and then they get emailed to tell them that the refresh has been done.
Thanks, Mark. Apologies, there was a question I missed from earlier on. Can it pick up things like SciCon work in progress so we can get bespoke reports on SOP or WOP reporting?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think probably at this point in time, I want to bring in. Are there any other questions on there, Sim?
There is one on there about a business partner copy. Is there a possibility for a partner copy?
Absolutely, yeah. So once you're signed up on our partner program, we'll give you a free partner copy. Yeah, no problem at all.
Brilliant. Grant. Just we'd like to.
So just want to bring in Steve. We're going to have a quick chat about some of the SciCon side of things. I knew that question would come up. I didn't, but yeah. It's good that it has.
Brilliant. Hopefully, Steve, I've just made you a presenter on the call, so you might should be. There we go. Perfect.
Perfect. How is everybody?
All good. Brilliant. Thank you, Steve, for joining us. The questions come up around can we connect to some of the SciCon modules. It's a good time now, I think, to bring you in and for you just to give a couple of minutes on the plans and what we're looking to achieve.
Yeah. So we were hoping to have it sorted for today, but there's just couple of bits that we're working on in terms of the comms. But SciCon are launching. I've spoken to a few of you. I've seen some of the obviously some of the attendees today. A few of you that we're planning to do a tech partner program, our own program, where working with other tech partners, where relevant, of course, so that it makes it easier in terms of their solutions working with SciCon and therefore working with the Sage 200. And the idea is making Sage 200, of course, sticky, but also more accessible as well. Certainly around the SciCon projects, as Greg's mentioned there, works orders. And I'm delighted to say that we are very close to Mark and the team at Roveel being the first of those tech partners to join that program. So in terms of what that will look like, you'll be engaging with Mark and the team, just as you normally would with usual commercials, but we're working together, utilising our API to connect some of our other elements. So Mark's already mentioned there in terms of real time, actually by using the API down the line as we do that, that does open up some potential options there. So we're really excited about this. Absolutely delighted. I've had a great relationship with Mark since the pandemic, kind of in the early days of the tech partner program as well. So it's great to see what they're working on. So keep an eye out for comms, both from Mark's team and our team, and there'll be some sort of FAQs. But if you do have any questions on that, again, just reach out to myself or Mark.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think it was we talked about it at the start when we first started building out the 200 integration that we would want to and we would need to integrate with yourselves. And I think the experience over the last 6 months tells us that we've got lots of requests coming through of, well, can you integrate with manufacturing, construction projects? We absolutely need to. So Steve and I really delighted and excited to be working together. SciCon are based just down the road, so we're in Norwich, they're in Bury St Edmunds. It still takes hours to get there, but that's just leaving Norfolk. We're thrilled and delighted to be working with you, and being able to ultimately offer more information to your customers. So watch this space. We wanted it. Ideally, it was going to be announced this week. But I really wanted just to take this opportunity to let all the partners on the call know that it's imminent. So all good. Hopefully it's not the first time you've seen Roveel, but hopefully it's you'll be excited and you'll see how much it's moved on. We talked a little bit about pipeline as well in terms of roadmap. We've got our stock dashboards are about to be released, so that's going out. We typically do an update every month. We do an update every month. That doesn't mean that we're adding new dashboards every month. It might be new features, new functionality, but certainly next the immediate release is stock, and then obviously the news that we've just shared in terms of partnering with SciCon. You'll see a lot more coming through from us on that area. I've popped up my contact details on there, my mobile numbers on there as well. By all means, take that down. I'm happy to have individual meetings with any partners and run through a personalized demo or get you up and running with your data so you can see it for yourselves. Thank you very much.